Hello, guys, gals, non binary pals, anything up, down, and in between. Thank you for joining us for another episode of GSC's Girl Pod. I'm your host, Candy, joined by my wonderful co host, V. How you doing today, V?
I'm very well, thank you, Candy. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm ready to get to chatting. And we have another guest with us today. We have Russell, Casualties of Gaming. Welcome on into your first time on Girl Pod.
Hey, yeah, and first time on any, or not first time, long time on any one of these shows. That wasn't said in the right order.
Don't worry, that'll happen a lot.
It's all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Mm.
And, maybe this is the first time that they are hearing you on a GSC podcast, because maybe they're tuning in for the first time, second time, but just not the last time. Because we are here on Girl Pod from a little joke to now a full-fledged podcast. We're almost at double-digit episodes. I think maybe this is double digits. I don't know. I'll look back after.
I thought you guys were on like 6 or 7. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's like 7 and 7, 8, something like that. I don't know. I threw myself off when I decided to make the first episode 0. So past me.
Well, and then you said this one might not come out for like another
like 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what you guys are. Anyway,
I know.
Even when we record both on one day, Candy and I will change what we wear
Yep.
to try and trick you all into thinking that we're much more prepared than we are. Like,
the fact is, we are not prepared.
You guys put a lot more thought into this than I would.
We are not prepared. We just try to make it look prepared. We're like, look.
And
I've got videos on my YouTube channel that I've filmed like 3 of and then released them like over the course of 5 days, and it's all the same shit. So
I'm pretty sure I was wearing this t-shirt on the news pods. So I do want people to believe that I do shower and I do change my clothes. Whether or not this is the truth, no one will know. But
you won't know.
It's an illusion of I have got my shit together.
By the time you compare, I'll have put my hair in a different way, changed my shirt. Maybe I'll move the camera angle a little bit. The behind the scenes magic. Behind the scenes. You could just ask anywhere and I'd be like, yeah, that's what we do. Whatever.
Yeah.
All the big podcasts do it, I think, probably. I don't know. They say they do.
Yeah. We're super professional all the time.
We're super professional. Absolutely. You know who else is a great group of super professionals? The news podcast that happens every week with V, with Harry, with Mark, with Addie. And then, of course, you have the party chat on Fridays hosted by Nathan. Then he'll have a rotating group of people. I know he recently had Husky Hokage on it, and he usually plays with Steve and Fraser. So you'll get to see lots of different people from Gamer Social Club if you follow the channel and see all the different podcasts that go up. And if that's not enough, because maybe you're like, look, these podcasts are great, but I need my gaming news every day, then you're going to want to check out gamersocialclub.ca, which is the site we all write for and how I got to know this crazy cast of characters. On there, you'll find editorials, guides, news, reviews written for gamers, by gamers. We are not professionals. I don't think any of us on this call have a journalism degree. We just like games, and now maybe our parents can be a little more proud of us that we're not just playing games, but we're writing about them and using our brains a little bit. Maybe. Sometimes. We'll see.
Yeah. Depends on the game.
Depends on the game. Absolutely. Some games mindless pew pew. Some is mindless hack and slash. And then you have games like the one that V is playing that's all puzzles. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know that I could do that this week. Maybe next week.
Yeah. When you're feeling a little bit more rested after some time off.
Yeah. Exactly. So, as we always start this podcast with, what are we drinking today?
I have a gin and tonic. I don't have anything fancy. I don't have anything fancy to say about my gin and tonic, apart from it's a Gordon's export. So it's 43.7%, and it's got probably too many ice cubes in it. I also put a little dash of plum bitters in. Ooh. So if you're not putting a little bit of bitters in your gin and tonic, I would highly recommend. Just gives it just a little bit different, a little bit fun. It's very warm here today in Scotland, super humid, so I'm keeping it nice and chill.
You say nothing fancy, but the fact that you even have bitters at home feels fancy.
So no, I've got so much. I've got like a fully stocked bar in my kitchen. There's no food in there, just a fully stocked bar. But but that's what I have.
Fancy to me. What about you, Russell? What do you have?
low acidic coffee.
I mean, coffee's good.
Yeah.
And
What makes it low acid?
Yeah.
It's black. It's not even like, well,
No flavors, no vanilla extract.
No.
No syrups.
nothing like that. I literally just fucking like live off of the shit now. It's the only vice I got left.
I mean,
Yeah.
fair. I currently am joining you with the coffee, some iced coffee. I did put a little bit of Bailey's in it. Normally I would put like a creamer or something, but I put a little bit of Bailey's for some flavor. Because much like the name suggests, I like things that are sweet. But I had a really hard time getting out of bed this morning, so I knew I was gonna need a little bit more coffee. It's been a long week of work, too many hours, and 10 o'clock this morning. Normally I'm like the person out of bed at like 6 a.m. 10 o'clock I was still in bed. 11 I was still in bed. I finally just laid there and watched some more episodes of Arcane. So I was like, all right, I need the caffeine boost. So I have my coffee and then a Diet Pepsi. Not a sponsor, but Pepsi, if you'd ever like to sponsor.
Yeah, like anything we ever mention, we're never sponsored. But if you want to sponsor us, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Mhm.
I would say I'll take some free gin, but I actually get free gin at work, so it's fine. Like that would be odd. Like,
I'll take free coffee, free soda.
oh yeah, we'll
free
take some
Broadway
of
tickets.
Russell's free like low acid coffee because that sounds interesting to me. I want to know what makes it low acid. Like,
Yeah, is it like the way you're brewing it or the certain type of bean? Like, that is curious. Because if you drink a lot of it, you do need something that's not gonna ruin your stomach. Or does it still ruin your stomach?
yeah, why is it low acid, Russell? Tell us, enlighten us on the coffee.
I actually have it. Wait, what do you mean? Why is it? I don't know. It's a dark roast that I have a bag sitting right here.
Oh, is that just how they market it?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's dark roast and it doesn't screw with my stomach. Over the course of the last 2 years, I would say, I've just developed stomach issues and had to screw with my diet and screw with my coffee. But it tastes really good and smooth. As far as what they do to make it low acidic,
it's the
organic,
magic.
chemical free, made in the USA. Okay, that's scary.
Are you sure it's low acid, or are they just telling us that?
No, it's soy, dairy, and gluten free. No shit. That shouldn't even be on there.
Those are just buzzwords at that point.
Yeah. It's fucking coffee. I would bet that any coffee beans that you buy would anyway.
Yeah, I know some that's where we got to get Fraser in here talking about the different types of coffee, right?
That's true.
But I know that some of them are stronger, and some of them, so that's why I'm I know that there's probably some component as to why it's less acidic and less harsh on your stomach. You would think they advertise it.
Yeah, I'm sure the beans are grown in a certain way, or yeah, it doesn't. This delicious low acid coffee is gentle on the stomach and delivers a boost in antioxidants for full body wellness. That doesn't tell me shit.
That doesn't say a damn thing, but all right. Well,
health coffee. For your health.
Health coffee. Well, if you have stomach issues, go look for the coffee that says all these things. That's also gluten, soy-free, GMO-free.
It's called Vita Cup. So
there you go.
There we go. So Vita Cup, look, sponsor us.
If you want to sponsor Russell, he drinks a lot of coffee.
We're talking 5 or 6 cups a day, every day, sometimes more.
See, I feel like you need the sponsorship then. That you can.
Yeah.
I mean, usually we do this at the. All right. Well, I say usually we do this at the end. We've only had one guest so far, so I'm just gonna say that normally we do this at the end, but I'm gonna do it now. You do have your own YouTube channel where you talk about gaming, so it sounds like they would be a great sponsor for your channel.
Okay, yeah, I could live with that.
Yeah.
See?
Via Cup, get in touch. We'll talk about coffee. I love coffee.
Right. I mean, I could see it now. Do you need the energy to get through these, emulations? Is the emulation stressing you out and you're so tired of dealing with it? Have a cup of Vita coffee in order to power through the rest of it. You know,
Yeah.
Are you afraid that Nintendo is going to show up on your doorstep?
Are you 2 hours deep into an argument with someone on Reddit? Do you need to pick me up? Like,
see, it writes itself. Literally writes
that's
itself.
usually just what I do.
We'll get you the sponsorship. We'll help you write the copy. Done.
Yeah.
Done. So
No, I think if I had to do an ad read, I would just like, God, I think it would be funny to just like have a guy walking down the street and just have him like get hit by a bus or something, and then just display the coffee's name, so nothing has anything to do with anything. I used to love ads
memorable.
like that in the 90s, where the fucking shit had nothing to do with anything, and then you just like see Coke's name or something.
oh yeah, I always think of like the Budweiser ones where it was just the guys yelling "What's up?" and it had nothing to do with any like that has nothing to do with beer. At least the frog said like Bud, why? So like at least like because those were always the ones they spent a ton of money on during the Super Bowl. Like the "What's up?" I'm like, this has nothing to do with anything. But here we are.
I feel
But
like, and I
remembers. Like,
I admittedly don't watch a ton of TV anymore, but I feel like ads have gotten lazy like that.
100%.
But
100%. No, that's not even like a hot take. I have friends who don't give a damn about football, but they still come and hang out during the Super Bowl, and they have noticed the quality of commercials have like significantly gone down. And it's like, this is awful. Like at least it used to be like, oh, the best commercial or this memorable thing. Now it's all crypto commercial bros and nonsense. And it's like this sucks. This is awful. Or you get the overly religious commercial, and there's always the one Scientology commercial that has nothing to do with anything, and you're like, okay, we knew it was coming. I guess it's here. Whatever. But no, they definitely have gone down, which is probably why a lot of people look for their entertainment online now. But
there was because it got banned, and I think it was UK only. But there was an Xbox advert, when in like the early 2000s, of a woman giving birth, and the baby like shoots straight out of her womb and through the hospital wall, and then the guy just gets older and older and older, and then like over the span of like 10 seconds he turns into an old man, and then he just lands in a coffin, and then it just comes up, it's like the Xbox logo, and it's like, life is short, play more, Xbox.
Yes.
And like, cracking advert, absolutely amazing advert, but it did get banned because everyone was like, this is fucking weird and disturbing. But that was before I owned an Xbox, and I was like, I want that.
I have maybe I was looking at like banned commercials or something on YouTube, but I've seen that ad before.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a great advert. More adverts like that, please.
Mm-hmm.
Although I pay for YouTube Premium, so I've not seen an advert. I only see adverts when I go to my dad's house. He puts the TV on, and I'm like, what is this? What is this that's on the TV? And he's like, that's an advert. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about those. Forgot those exist.
You're not missing anything. You're literally not missing anything with the ads that come out these days.
People keep trying to sell me pillows. I don't understand why. It's always pillows. You see a lot on YouTube sponsorships as well, like pillows and mattresses. It's like, how often are people buying new mattresses that you have a whole industry of sponsoring people for mattresses? Is this just the YouTube content that I watch? Like, you both look very confused.
No. Spoiler alert! I'm breaking the fourth wall. I'm a pro wrestling fan, and a couple of pro wrestling podcasts were advertising beds for a couple of years, actually, and pillows. Now that you mention it.
Yeah. But like, how often do you buy a new mattress? Mattresses are fucking expensive.
They are.
Like,
you know
like,
what?
Why are you advertising a mattress to me? Like,
I can get behind. Okay, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but I can get behind the pro wrestling podcast and stuff like that having advertisements for mattresses, because I, as a youngin, I went through like a phase of watching a lot of wrestling, and I'm gonna age myself. It was like the first season of like WWE's Tough Enough, where it was like them like finding the the next big wrestlers, and it was them training and all the behind the scenes stuff. And I remember watching it with friends, and I remember one of the maybe second or third episodes was like teaching them how to fall correctly, right? And it was like the way they fall to make sure that they don't do any like serious damage. And I remember with friends then practicing those same falls on a mattress, right? So if you are trying all these different things on a mattress, which is not safe, so don't do that in general, but you may wear out your mattress. So I can almost get behind wrestling podcasts having mattress experts.
I love the through line of that, because as soon as you started talking about watching wrestling as a child, I was like, oh, you're going to talk about when we all used to like choke slam each other into beds when we were children. But I love you like, we practiced how to fall correctly as we were like suplexing each other in the middle of the room.
Well, because
like,
you know, we started with trying what they were showing first, right? So take the fall correctly, right? Take the bump correctly, do this. And then you progress to like the slaps. And then you know, and I just remember like this was the progression of things. But yeah, that mattress probably took a bit of a beating. So
yeah.
you probably needed a new one pretty soon.
I assume this is not how they were advertising the mattresses on the pro wrestling podcast, Russell. like...
No, definitely not. Although, if I'd been more prepared, I would have went back and listened to some of them because some of those were funny. It sounds like, Candy, you were smarter than me and my friends were.
You just went to the floor?
No, we wrestled on the trampoline and we faked it for a while, and then inevitably someone would accidentally hit someone for real, and then it just turned into a shit show after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think
that
I've seen that
happened.
happen.
No one ended up in the hospital though. Although one time Bobby probably should have went. Anyway.
It's like,
It's like, you definitely have a concussion, but we're not going to tell anyone. I mean, we're not going to the hospital because we're going to get in trouble.
so funnily enough, this involves the bed. This was actually not on the trampoline. This was in his room. There was some wrestling. He got pushed, and like he had this like just metal frame with no headboard or anything, and it had it had a piece of metal like lifted in the corner to keep the mattress, but it was really big and large. Anyway, he went shin first into that and had like a giant gash on his shin for probably 2 months. It was pretty ugly.
Yeah, he probably should have went to the hospital.
I mean, if it only lasted 2 months, it's fine. It was maybe a very deep bruise.
And I'm also forgetting that would have cost money where you guys are.
I was also to that point. I was also raised white trash, so like, if something wasn't broken, you just didn't go.
Walk it off.
Yeah, fair.
Just walk it off. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know if this travels across the pond, but we would say put a wet paper towel on it. Because if you got injured at school ever, you would just go to the school nurse, and they would do nothing for you, but they would just give you like a dark green paper towel that they had wetted, and then you just like put a paper towel on it. It's like my arm is broken. It's like, just put a paper towel on it, you'll be fine. Just go back to class, you're fine. like.
See, that sounds like a weird fetish thing too. Although that's a continuation of a conversation we were having before we started recording. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and until we unlock any Patreons or stuff, you know, we can't. Certain conversations we have to keep off of YouTube, right? Because we don't want the whole channel taken down for like something we say within a 5-minute span. I don't think everybody else would be too happy with us.
No. We'll get a message. I'm going to get a voice note from Nathan. He's going to be very upset that we got their YouTube taken down.
Oh, if you guys want to get the YouTube channel taken down, I can help you get it taken down.
No, we've already annoyed Nintendo this week. Like, we can't annoy them again.
Did you? Think, you know, you guys can't watch porn. You can't sue.
That's very true. You can't sue us, Nintendo. Like, please don't sue us. We can't watch porn. We're in a very different...
I think that Nintendo would come after my YouTube channel before they came after this. But yeah,
that's good then. I'll do. If we get a letter from Nintendo, I'll be like, have you seen this guy though? Like,
no, listen, they would never go after you. You're totally not emulating any games that you don't have a copy of, right? Wink, wink. Right? You totally have a copy of them somewhere. Wink, wink.
Yeah, and the attic.
Yes. I'm going with yes.
See? See? Emulation is fine as long as you own the piece of media. That's the loophole.
Yeah, and now what's the good quote? I can't remember who said it. It's an indie dev. I'm sure it was said it, but now that all these companies and stuff are talking about the fact you don't legally own your games, it's like if buying isn't ownership, then piracy isn't theft. Like, which I do agree with. Like,
Big facts. Big facts.
Well, technically, if you look in, so a lot of people don't really like to bring this up. I forget when they started this. It hasn't always been, but there is some games I think you can look in the manuals of, and like basically it gave the company permission to like come to your house and take the fucking cartridge. I would. I love V's response to that.
Come at me, bro.
I don't open the door to the mailman. You're not coming into my fucking house. Like, like I've got a knife. Like,
multiple.
Yeah.
At least that's what I've heard. I've never seen it in any of the manuals that I have. I mean, say that. I need to double check.
I mean, I feel like games would have to still come with manuals for them to be able to put that in there. Now you get a game and it's just like, here's a cartridge that isn't really the full game. It's just a key and there's nothing else. I'm like, what is this? All this plastic that is wasted. And there's nothing.
We're a far cry from the days of this.
Yes.
Where you actually got like a manual and.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Now you just get, what is it, the user agreement.
That's it.
That it comes up, and I'm like, I'm not reading that. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm not reading it.
But they make you scroll to the bottom to click accept.
There was totally some type of user agreement in most manuals. It was just like, I don't know, maybe a paragraph, or maybe I'm thinking of the FBI warning, and I don't remember.
The FBI warning that showed up at the start of everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Every VHS you ever owned, ever.
Literally. With the logo.
Oh, we didn't have that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh, my God. You would always, there'd be a logo and there'd be a paragraph underneath it. And it would say that, like, these fines are up to, like, $125,000 and punishable by, like, 6 months in prison, blah, 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 blah. Right? Yeah. And that would be at the start of everything. And then it would go into, you know, trailers in the actual movie. And then as things progressed, then you got some of the most ridiculous commercials, because then you could download things instead of, like, you know, making a copy of a VHS. And then it was, the most ridiculous one was always, you wouldn't download a car, would you?
Yeah, I fucking...
Oh, no, I thought that was a meme.
No, it was
real.
No, but we had the one that's like, you wouldn't steal a car. It's like, you wouldn't rob a bank. And it's all like quick cuts and stuff like that with like really... No. It's actually banging music.
Yeah.
In the UK, you had those ones. But I thought these people made up that you wouldn't download a car.
Oh, no, that's real.
As like satire of that trailer that would happen in UK videotapes. But you're telling me it actually said you would download a car. Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm sorry. Like, Scotland is a deeply unserious country, but I'm sorry, America, you're a deeply unserious country. Like, what do you mean?
Growing up in America, you wouldn't download a car. I'm like, well, shit, if I could download a car and it drove me places and it worked like a real car, fuck yeah, I would download a car. Could I save myself money?
Technically, in the age of Teslas, where we have to pay for like heated seats and features like that, aren't we kind of downloading cars anyway?
Yeah, could you mod your car? If you have like a really high spec like electric car, could you mod it? Like, I'm sure you can like jailbreak a car to like run not factory settings. Just
car people essentially do that. Like, when you think about, like, legit car people that trade out, like, swap out parts and stuff like that, they do that. I remember I used to have, they don't make these in the US, or they don't sell these in the US anymore. I used to have a Suzuki car. They don't sell them in the US anymore. They stopped selling them, I don't know, 10 years ago or so. But for a little bit, I dated someone who was really into cars. And I just remember he was like, oh, because the car you have, you know that we can modify it to do this. And like, he was like, we can swap out this part. I was like, I ain't swapping out shit in this car, because Lord knows I do not need a fast car or anything like that. But I mean, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, well, if we take off this thing, we actually unlock. And I'm like, no, let's not do this. Like, I just want to drive this from point A to point B, and nobody was buying Suzuki, so the car was cheap. I'm not trying to have like a street racer. Like, no, I'm good. Thank you. But yeah. So I guess technically,
Sorry, I'm just imagining a Suzuki Swift, which is the smallest car in the world, and like
they're
just
so cute though.
yeah, but like and trying to mod that into a race car, just like it's like
They're so
the
cute.
first Need for Speed Most Wanted, and the first car you get is the fat Fiat Punto, and I'm like, who's street racing in a Fiat fucking Punto? Like, what do you mean? Like,
The one thing I learned was that it's not about what's on the outside of the car. It's about what's on the inside and how much you can swap it and change it.
that's fair.
You'd be surprised what these car people will figure out. I was like, this you have a brain for. Everything else you got nothing. This, brain.
Well, I mean, you gotta have a hobby.
Yeah, God forbid a man have a hobby. Like,
Well, could have had a cooler hobby, like video gaming. God,
that's very true. That's very true.
cars? Eh.
No, I think a car person would probably like take video gaming too far and like start modding and all this other shit.
I mean,
Like
video
me.
game people do that. Like you modding games? No way. You would never.
I might know a couple people that I'm not gonna name that are much smarter than me. Anyway,
Would one of those people be your fantasy guest?
my fantasy. No, that's a dev / writer / whatever.
Well, is he smarter than you? Do you think he's smarter than you?
I guess I don't know. I would need to interview him. Is that what we're segueing into?
That's
now?
exactly what we're
Yeah.
segueing into. So tell us about
you
your
guys have a-
fantasy guest. No, I just throw it out there.
I figured you had like a bit that you were gonna or something.
Nope. I just segue
No,
when
we're
I find
very-
it. When I find a tangent to start moving on to, I just roll with it.
So as far as fantasy guest goes, so I don't know if y'all had like goals or anything when you guys started writing for the website and whatnot. But you would think a normal person would be like, oh well, maybe I want to climb the mountain and write for like fucking IGN or something. I want to get paid. I want to make a living doing this. My thing is if whenever this ends, whenever that is, if I could somehow interview Edmund McMillen, that would be pretty badass.
Okay.
So yeah, fantasy guest come back on. It would probably be him.
So for
not that he's
people
ever gonna
who,
fucking see this.
I mean, listen, you never know. He may see this and be like, I'm gonna make that guy's dreams come true. You never know. So for people who don't know, tell us some of the games that he has made. I will say I have not played any of them, but I have a friend who is deeply obsessed with The Binding of Isaac. But I know that's not the only game that he has done, and I know that he has one coming out in February.
Well, as much as I love Edmund, him and release dates seem to be enemies. So we'll see. The release date is early next year. Was also as of last year supposed to be at some point this year.
Okay.
So we'll see. As far as titles people may have played, more well-known ones, Super Meat Boy and Binding of Isaac are probably the two biggest ones. Mugenics is coming out next year. Some of the more unknown ones, Gish, Time Fuck. Yes, that's a game. There's a word that I can't really say on YouTube. It starts with a C and ends with a T, and there's 4
yeah.
letters.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are we
yeah.
not allowed to say that? I think I said that on the podcast once.
I would say I
talking
think you
about-
have. We're not monetized, so.
Oh, but you can. I didn't want to like go there just because I didn't know like.
You know what? Actually,
Clearly,
I
this
mean,
isn't PG.
no,
but
this
yeah.
this is definitely not. But you know what? I think the internet as a whole has decided probably that Russell and I can't say it because we're American and we don't say it right.
Yeah, you don't say it right. None of you say it right. It's outrageous.
Okay, so I know my YouTube channel, because of my language, is actually like not for children. I mark that with every single one of my videos, which is supposed to kill you. Which is supposed to kill you in the algorithm. But I've got videos with like thousands of views, so I don't understand how that happened. But
you just pop off sometimes.
Yeah, apparently. But anyway, that's irrelevant. There are others. For anyone curious, there's this thing called the Basement Collection on Steam, which has the original. It was called Meat Boy then instead of Super
Mhm.
Meat Boy, but it has the original Flash game on it, which is kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, it doesn't have controller support. However, if you're nifty, there are ways around that. But yeah, I had
Just be a
fun.
real gamer and use your mouse and keyboard, yo.
No.
just get good.
I refuse. Like,
I game on PC. We do shit the way we want. God damn it.
I mean, same. I am just like the person who gets yelled at, and I have like whatever because I have played Super Meat Boy, although I do think that when I did play with controller, but I am the person that's like, well, it's on PC, so I'm gonna use my mouse and keyboard, even though games like Hades literally tell you at the bottom like controller is recommended, and I'm like, screw your recommendation. I'm still playing mouse and keyboard. I cannot win Hades playing with a controller, but I have some great stats with mouse and keyboard. So don't tell me how to play my game, Supergiant.
I mean, I'm the type of guy like I literally I'm this right here, the new 8-bit do N64 control. I buy controllers just to emulate systems. So
no, I do prefer controller. I'm sorry, Candy.
I
You're
I
in the
can't.
minority.
I don't know what it is. Certain games, I can't do it.
So I will throw in RTSs like Command and Conquer or Battle for Middle Earth.
They
Or
must be
stuff
on
like
mouse and
that.
keyboard.
Mouse and
Mhm.
keyboard is much better. I mean they've had the original Command and Conquer was ported to 64 back in like 98. So they've had RTSs on console since at least then. And since then it's gotten better, but
Okay.
it's still instead of like, you know, holding one button to hold up this menu to sit through this and this and this, you just hit key 8 or something. So it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I that makes it so much easier. I don't know. I just like there are certain games that I can't be bothered with a controller. It may also be that my desk is so cluttered that I'm like, I don't need a controller on top of everything else, like sitting somewhere. I'm like, whatever, this is fine. It may also be that while I'm not like an ASMR person, man, do I love the click clacks of a keyboard. I know that's so
I do like a good
ridiculous.
clickety clackety. I do like a good clickety clackety keyboard.
I actually have brown keys on my keyboard because of the way they sound. So
Yeah.
I understand.
So we all love a good sounding keyboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
I
now
bought my
good
own-
sounding yeah, good
It's different
sounding
to
might
different
vary
people.
from person
Yeah.
to person, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know
I
some
bought my
people that
own
don't want the
mechanical keyboard for
See?
work in the office, so that people would know when I was angry, because then the clickety clackety gets louder. Like,
Mm.
it's like da, 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 normal, and then it's like someone sent me a really shit email, and I'm like, well, absolutely not. Like, and then people can just avoid my desk for the rest of the day. Like,
See, that's smart. I might have
Mm.
to do that. We just have like
Yeah,
a
it's a
laptop.
good.
I don't like it. I don't get the feedback. I don't get the sound.
Mhm.
It's a sad day. And I know that was a tangent. So
Isn't that what the show's for?
this literally is.
Yes.
This is
I feel like this has been nothing but tangents so far. So.
literally. I said maybe I said that to V, like not on a recording, but I was like I feel like, and I think I might have said this to you too, Russell, where I was like the news podcast is obviously a bit more structured because they're covering certain topics in the news. There's a flow. There's like certain things, and then the Friday party chat is like either one topic or like one game or something, and then this is just tangentially gaming related, but wherever things sort of go is where they go. Much more just low key and relaxed. But I know so. But then I'm like, wait a second. We talked about Edmund for like 5 seconds, so I do want to circle back. Do want to circle back to your fantasy guess.
It was a little longer than 5 seconds, but
All right, 60
Tell
seconds.
us your
but
pitch for him. Like, how would
Yeah.
you convince him that he should come on the pod so that we can interview him?
how would I convince him? I don't
Mhm.
know.
How would you bribe him? How would
How would you
you
bribe-
like?
plan a perfect day with Edmund?
Yeah, what's your
well,
perfect
no,
day with
okay,
Edmund
so-
McMillen? Like,
So he some of his better ones are not necessary. Some of his better interviews are not necessarily just like, hey, how's it going? You got into gaming, blah, 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 blah. I think I'd want to pick his brain a little bit more about some of the games, maybe what inspired him. I know that the Binding of Isaac, he once said that, because if you look at the way the maps are drawn and whatnot, it's kind of like the original Zelda in the way it's formatted. But he was like, yeah, the guy that did that talked about his childhood and how he used to roam through the forest and whatnot. And he's like, my childhood sucked, so I made this game.
I mean, they say write about what you know.
Yeah. But yeah, he just seems like he seems like the type of person I'd want to hang out with, if that makes sense.
I think that's why we've picked most of our guests.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I would need a couple weeks to prepare with questions or whatnot, but I would like to pick his brain more about what makes him tick rather than just. Also, I know he used to make comic books before video games too, so that would be fun to talk about.
Okay, that I did not know.
I have watched a lot of interviews with this guy. So
no, that's
Is
cool.
it ever made you want to like pick up and try and make your own games? Like,
the closest I've come to that is I have a couple. You said you didn't want me to piss off Nintendo. I have a couple game engines on my computer. The name of the one is escaping me, but it's like so it's got the assets from like, so not all of the 2D Mario games, but like the ones from the 80s and 90s. For basically making your own homemade Mario game. Not the new Super Mario Bros. Stuff from like the Wii and the Switch, not those, but the older ones. And I've messed around with those. And there's another game engine on Steam that I own too. RPG Maker, I think.
Oh yeah. I know RPG Maker. That's a pretty popular one.
Yeah, but as far as him inspiring that, I mean, maybe through Super Meat Boy, because some of the stuff I've screwed around with in the Mario one, it not Super Meat Boy style, but definitely super difficult. So in that way, I guess.
So you don't have that nice splat sound every time you fall?
No.
Because
although maybe someone should edit that into the engine.
Yeah. Maybe that someone could be you.
You're giving me
yeah, right? Oh, see, we're onto something now. We're onto something.
Yeah.
I just remember I played Super Meat Boy on a stream as like one of the challenge rage things, and I just remember hearing the splat over and over because I suck at platformers. And it's just like so, and I swear that sound haunted me. Oh, that like gooey, I shouldn't even call it a splat, but like the gooey of the meat just for days in my head. That's all I was hearing. I was like, oh,
you can't just say the sentence, the gooey of the meat. Like, let's.
The gooey of the meat.
You know what? Someone remind me to go back and pull that out of context for a reel or something. But like that, I just remember it's such a visceral sound, and it's just like, ugh.
Steve thinks. Sorry, V, go.
No, I was just like, I know exactly what you mean, Candy, because my boyfriend when I was like 20 was obsessed with Super Meat Boy, and I remember going and like staying at his house, and we'd like go to sleep, and then I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and he was playing it in the bedroom on his Xbox, and it's just like that noise over and over and over again. I'm like, like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, you're just playing Super Meat Boy. Okay, I'll go back to bed. Like, have fun. I'm not watching this. Like, it's 3 a.m. Go to bed, Robert.
Yeah. No. I shudder just thinking about that sound. You know what? I say I shudder just thinking about that sound, but a part of me is like, huh, I wonder if I've gotten any better or worse at it since the last time I played.
There's also, if you liked Super Meat Boy, was it before? No, it was definitely after, because he did the original Binding of Isaac when he was still part of Team Meat. Later, he did another platformer called The End Is Nigh, which is Super Meat Boy adjacent, kind of. It's not super. He's no longer part of Team Meat or the Super Meat Boy IP or anything like that.
Right.
For some reasons he's talked about and some he won't. pretty sure there's an NDA involved. But it's the platforming is a little bit better in that, in my opinion. I've not made it anywhere. So with Meat Boy, I've beat the main game. I haven't gotten any of the achievements. There's bonus levels after you beat it, where you're Bandage Girl instead of Meat Boy, and I haven't beat all of those.
Okay.
Sorry, I talk with my hands a lot.
Oh, you're good.
But
audio listeners won't know the difference.
Yeah, the end is nigh. I don't know how far I've really gotten in it, but I've heard the end is nigh is so evidently he made it well, not evidently, he made it a pretty dark period, and I guess it's self-reflective in that, like, basically the game, like, you think you got it beat and then you don't, and then you think you've got it beat and then you don't, and it's just like over and over and over again like that.
Okay.
It's about a streamer, actually. It starts out, so maybe you can relate to this, Candy.
Oh boy!
And the end of the world has happened, and he's down to his last cartridge, streaming to absolutely no one. And then his last cartridge dies, and then he decides he has to go out and actually do stuff.
I mean, just pretend it's an IRL stream, obviously.
Yeah, and then if I remember right, he has to collect balls of cancer for some reason. It's like a collectible thing. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I've seen a let's play of The End Is Nigh, and I am guaranteed there's no way I would be able to complete that game. Like, it looks so difficult. Like,
and you like Dark Souls too.
Well, it's the best one.
When it comes to really difficult 2D platformers, if you're not into emulation, this is going to be lost on you. But Kaizo Mario, I think is how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
you've probably seen shorts of it where it's just a Mario level that's like super fucking difficult, and you're looking at it and you're like, how the hell can anyone do this? There is something rewarding in getting frustrated and dying over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and then finally, getting it done.
Oh no, I relate to that because that's why I play Souls games. Yeah, but and yeah, I actually watch a lot of Kaizo Mario stuff on YouTube as well. There's something very fun about watching people figure it out. I'm like, I'm not going to do that, but I appreciate the skill involved. Like,
yeah, Candy, don't get it twisted with Meat Boy and the not well. The way that The End Is Nigh is laid out is a little bit different, but with Meat Boy, you have the start of a level, and if you can get it from point A to point B and get done, it takes like 45 seconds. But I have literally spent like hours on some of those levels, just dying over and over and over and over and over.
Literally,
and over again, much like a Dark Souls boss. So
yeah.
Maybe
I've never actually went back and tried to like play like a really tough 2D platformer after getting into Dark Souls. So maybe I would have a different perspective on it now. That I'm like, oh yeah, there's a wall. I'm going to see if I can break it with my face. Like. So I'd be like, maybe if I went back now, I'd be like, okay, I could do this.
Maybe
I'm not going to throw my controller anyway. Like, Super Meat Boy's still on Xbox, right?
Yeah, it should be. How long have you had? So were you on Xbox One or no?
Yeah, I was. I've still got my Xbox 360 hooked up to the TV, actually.
At some point on the Xbox One, they gave away Super Meat Boy for free with the Xbox 360 games. So if you had gold, you may have it.
Probably have it. Yeah. Oh no. Oh, don't make me look at my library of games that I already own. Like, oh no. It's bad enough when I open Steam and it's like 200 odd games or something like that, and I'm like, don't make me do this, Steam. And then
those are amateur numbers.
Yeah, I've not used Steam for years. I think across my entire video game collection, I've got thousands, but Steam currently is about 200 odds. I don't like to look at my backlog very often. Like,
I don't like to look at it either. No.
Now you got me curious. I only have about 400 games. So that's not that bad.
Yeah,
that's not awful.
On Steam. I have probably another 100 on GOG.
That's
I
the
claim
thing.
all of the Epic. I claim all of the free ones, but I think I've played like 3 of them. So
yeah,
I claim every free game on Epic and then never open Epic. Like,
same.
Sometimes I forget it's on my PC. Just like, or we once got we got a code for Blades of Fire, but they actually sent through the Xbox code, because Dano was like, "Oh, it's an Epic Game Store exclusive," and I was like, "Oh, I might have to re-download the launcher." I was like, "What is my password? Who goes on Epic Game Store? Like, come on."
I did. I recently. Steve convinced me, basically by talking about it, to try Death Stranding, and I got it for free through Epic, and I'm glad I got it for free.
You mean you don't want to just play Walking Simulator?
So here's the deal. I actually kind of enjoyed the gameplay. What got me was that there was a cutscene that was so long, my fucking controller disconnected 3 times during that fucking cutscene. So I like a good story. I love The Last of Us. Uncharted 4, which I've been playing recently, is kind of testing my patience a little bit.
Okay.
But I love The Last of Us. I love Days Gone. I love Sony games. I know everyone thinks Kojima is a fucking genius, but like, dear fucking God, it's not a fucking movie. It's just fucking not. It's a fucking video game.
We did talk about this on last week's Girl Pod, which may be 2 weeks ago's Girl Pod, depending when this gets uploaded.
Depending on when I upload this.
Yeah, but we did talk about the egregiousness of cutscenes in Death Stranding, and specifically in a lot of more modern Kojima games. And now that I say the word modern, I realise I'm thinking of Metal Gear Solid 4, which came out exclusively for the PS3, and I'm aging myself significantly. But
that's fine.
But like that has because we looked it up, and that has like a 2-hour unskippable cutscene in it, which is just a film.
It's just a movie,
and I don't care enough about what's going on to sit and watch something for 2 hours. I barely watch movies. My brain's just like, what's going on over there? To be just like halfway through playing a game, just be like, oh, it's 2 hours long. What am I supposed to do with this? Probably just going to go to the kitchen, make a snack, go to bed, have a nap.
Just say, you know what? It's the best thing for those sorts of like long cutscenes are these wireless headphones, man. Because it's like you can listen to what's happening and just be like, I'm gonna go do the dishes. I'm gonna make myself a sandwich. I'm gonna like.
I just go to bed, have a nap, wake up like halfway through the cutscene, like.
So with have either one of you played Death Stranding or no?
No, I have not.
No.
Okay, no, I was gonna say I've heard when you start connecting the network and it makes like fast travel easier and something. I have heard that the cutscenes like start dying down as far as their intensity goes. But I can tell you this game is so egregious with cutscenes that we'll call them mods. On Nexus Mods, there are 2 mods. One of them literally is just a save straight into chapter 2 to get you through the tutorial. The second one, and I'm not sure what the significance is. Maybe if Steve watches this, he can sound off in the comments about this. There's also one that starts at chapter 10, and I looked it up, and I think this game's only like 14 or 15 chapters long. So like, there's a reason.
Oh my God.
That mod is there. Like, obviously, whoever put that up there was like, fuck all of this shit. And
oh my God.
Well, what do we think about games when people are like, see when a game's like 70 hours or something like that, and it's like, oh, just give it a chance, it gets good like 10 hours in. I am old. I have no time for this anymore. And maybe when I was younger, maybe. But like, I don't have enough time. I've got a full-time job. Don't tell me to spend 10 hours on something that's dog shit because it gets good later. Like
that's valid.
Yeah,
that's valid.
So Starfield got. I was not told this. Starfield got a pass with me because it's Bethesda. And Fallout 4 is fine. It's a good game, but not so much that. But like Fallout 3, I'll throw in New Vegas. I know that's Obsidian, but it's like, it's their engine, it's their assets. It's we'll toss in New Vegas for arguing's sake. Oblivion, believe it or not so much Skyrim with me. Morrowind, I love all those games. Starfield does get good, like, I would say 6 or 8 hours in, but like any other game, like I hear that stuff, and I know that's an issue with Japanese turn-based games too, where people are like, oh, 5 or 10 hours in. And much like V, I could get pretty animated with this conversation too, but like,
Go
just
for it.
fucking Jesus
Do it.
Christ, I do not have the fucking time
Do a
for
rant.
that.
We love a
Um,
rant on girl pop.
I mean, particularly now where I've got, I mean, I barely have time to write for the website. It seems like now, but between that and playing music, and then I don't know how much we want to get into my personal life. Candy's very aware of what's going on with that later with me today. All of that shit, like, I do not have the fucking time to put 10 hours in to decide if I want to keep playing this fucking game.
No, you know what? Okay. I mean, I'll take the debate on the other side as like a fan of JRPGs, okay? And I say this as someone who had characters from Persona on our wedding cake, right? So obviously, like, I'm committed to these long games, right?
Yeah.
I understand when someone is like, that intro is too fucking long for me to give it the time of day, right? I do think that this becomes when it is like a quantity over quality, right? So this is when I think it's like, okay, do you want a lot of smaller games to have a nice variety of games, or are you looking for like one game that you know you were gonna love and you're gonna want to sink like 200 hours into, right? Because that is like the JRPG thing, right? And some of that also is like, do you have money to keep spending on games, right? If you don't, maybe you want a 200-hour game that's only going to cost you $70 because that's a lot of hours for your $70, right? But I also will not force games like Persona on people unless I know that they are into that type of game, right? Now, personally, I think Persona is a fucking amazing game, right? And no one can tell me otherwise, right? That game is fantastic. For a while, I like wasn't we had a PlayStation and we had all this stuff, but I wasn't really gaming in that way. And I remember I walked into GameStop and they had Persona 5, the vanilla version, on sale for like $20, and I was like, it has literally been years since I've played a Persona game because I played the first one on the PS1, right? So I was like, let me just try it. It looks good, right? I popped it in and I was like, oh, aesthetically it's very pretty, right? And the music is fantastic. And like many other people, when I first started, I was like, oh, the intro is a little bit long because there's not a lot of gameplay in the beginning when they're giving you the whole story and trying to give you the hook. Yeah, right? They're trying to give you the hook, and I was like, okay, like, it's a little long. But then once it got going, I was like, oh, okay, like, I have played it multiple times to get the different endings and to get all of that, right? But it does take a very particular type of gamer to want to play those types of games, right? And some of it is combat, some of it is what story are you looking for, some of it is aesthetically what are you looking for, right? Like, because I say all this is like, I put 200 hours into Persona, right? I'm not going to touch Death Stranding. I don't care. I'm going to wait for the movie, right? But clearly, I don't mind that amount of time going into a game. I'm just like, it has to have something else that I know is going to hook me, right? And if it doesn't have that, I don't care how praised you are, Kojima. I'm not playing your game. I'm just not playing Death Stranding. I got it for free, and I still haven't touched it, right? So it's just really, what are you looking for? What's like your... I feel like everyone has like a threshold, right?
Yeah.
That threshold, Death Stranding don't meet it for me. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that probably goes to what Russell was saying about certain titles getting like a pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
because I do also love Bethesda games. It didn't take me too long to get in to Starfield because I think the joy for me in Bethesda games is you can just fuck off and do whatever you want. It took me 8 years after the release of Skyrim, getting it for my Christmas the year it came out, before I completed the main quest in Skyrim. Because I was just like, I've got like 900 hours in the Xbox version of Skyrim. I've got 900 hours in the PC version of Skyrim. Like, it's just like fucking about the game. Like,
Skyrim's the only Bethesda game I've played.
Yeah, you should play Morrowind. It's the best one.
Gross.
Morrowind is the best one. Like,
So,
wait, gross that that's the only one I've played, or gross that Morrowind's the best one? Or both?
Well, I would argue Oblivion is better than Morrowind or Skyrim, but
I mean, Oblivion is better than Skyrim. I personally think Morrowind's the best one, but
I would hear an argument that Morrowind is the better RPG, though.
yeah.
Okay.
You can also
it's
just
actually
get to the point that you jump so high that you die from your own fall damage, and I think that's great.
yeah. It's actually funny that I was like, oh, Fallout 4 is a good game. It's not a great game. I actually, last time I checked my Xbox profile, I think I have somewhere in the neighborhood of 14 days in that
Oh
game.
my god.
Like it's literally to the point where it's not even counting hours anymore. It's just days.
Just days.
So,
Yeah.
if you do the math on that,
200.
what even is that?
240.
Hold on.
268.
24 times 14 is over 300 hours.
I would say it's 300 and something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's about the same amount of time
336.
I've got in Balatro.
I haven't touched that only because I know I'll get addicted.
Balatro is bad.
That's
It's
the only
not
reason I
bad.
haven't touched it.
So here's the thing about counting my hours there. On my Steam profile, I think it says I have like 100 or whatever it is. The issue with counting my hours on that is I was really stupid. And I bought it on my phone before I bought it on Steam, which I do not suggest you do, because Balatro on your phone will turn a 10-minute bathroom break into a half an hour when you're at work real fast.
Yeah.
Where like you're looking at it and you're like, I've only been in here 3 minutes, it's fine. And then you look at it and you're like, fuck, it's been a half hour. I need to get back to work.
I have Slay the Spire on my phone, so I feel that. Yeah.
So I can't give you an accurate count. When I got it on Steam though, I started actually coming up with like real strategy and being but by then I knew the game, so I was able to like actually do. So my progress is better on my PC or Steam Deck, however you want to, whichever way you want to count about that one.
Okay, wait. So you also have a Steam Deck? Because
Steam Deck gang.
Okay, I have been trying not to bite the bullet on buying one.
Buy a Steam Deck.
I was part of Wave 3, I think.
Okay.
So the year that it came out, I got it. I was scheduled to get it that fall, and I want to say they actually shipped them out in like. Actually, I can look this up. I want to say it was like June of that year or something.
Okay.
So you have an original, because I don't have the OLED either, Russell. I couldn't wait.
So I actually this was the original 64 gig model that came with the shit drive that I then replaced with a 256, and I actually replaced with Hall effect sticks too.
Okay, cool.
So.
Yeah, no, mine's was slightly later because I think I've got maybe is it the 512?
Probably.
Does it come in a 512?
Yeah,
it does. Yeah,
or did. Also, my menu button took a shit, but I've got a PCB that I need to. That reminds me, I have a video half filmed, and I need to actually install that PCB and film it, and then get that on my channel. My YouTube channel is like a random kibosh of like basically whatever. So I used to there are certain things I used to cover on the website that just never did well. And then when I made the YouTube channel, I'm very mindful of the way I talk, and that I'm probably going to piss someone off really bad one of these days. So the YouTube channel kind of became an outlet to just talk about like fucking whatever, basically. If it doesn't make sense for the website, it usually goes there.
Valid.
So it just ends up like if I want to start talking about mods or anything, like no one on the web that reads the website gives a fuck about that, unless it's Fallout London, apparently.
People are crazy about Fallout, so that makes sense.
Well, and those articles. So if you looked at the numbers now, like by the numbers we do now, like that really wasn't very well at all. But a year ago, as V would know, like those did fairly well for where we were at that point. I remember doing articles, and it was common where we do articles a year ago, and like you were lucky if it got 50 hits. So
yeah. You're like, this is exciting. This has got 50 hits. I actually applied to do voice acting in Fallout London.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Based on how much I've played, like you would have fit in pretty well. So.
Yeah, apparently when I applied to do it, they weren't looking for anyone with Scottish accents. So I don't know if they have Scottish people doing it now, but at the time they were
Mhm.
looking specifically for English accents, which I can't do on principle. Like I
On principle.
refuse. Like,
It's like not because I can't, just because I don't want to.
yeah.
No,
But
that's
no,
fair.
I think
think that'd be so much
Bethesda mods
fun.
always do well. Yeah, doing voice acting. Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
could all do it. We could make our own game. Let's make our own game.
We should. I have a friend who has done some voice acting in indie games, and
Yeah.
I'm like that. I just think it's so cool, and I keep telling Sean, right? Because I'm like, I could record something, but he has a much better range of voices, right? And
Mhm.
like if he's playing something on stream, and it's like a visual novel or something, he'll do lots of different voices. And I keep saying like, you should do this, and we know people who do this, right? There's a game called Spiral. It's an indie game. It's actually a little bit heartbreaking because it's about an older gentleman, Bernard, who is going through his memories, and he's losing his memories, right? I think he has like Alzheimer's and he's dementia. He's just losing, he can't remember things as well. But she does a lot of the background voices in the game, and then she actually got her son to do young Bernard in that game, right? So
Oh, that's sweet. I like that.
I mean, really cool. She had him audition and he did it, and they took him, and just like really really cool. And I'm just like, that just sounds like so much fun. Like that sounds like a really cool thing to do, and it's not her full time gig or anything like that, right? But even just to be able to say, yeah, my voice is immortalized in this thing, right? And I know
Yeah.
it's not immortal because obviously games disappear or whatever. But I'm like, that would just be so cool to be part of something that you enjoy. And that game is, again, emotional but very well written. Really really cool game if you like something with deep story and whatnot. But I just think voice acting would be so much fun, so you should keep an eye out in case they do start putting Scottish people, so you could be like, we know that voice, we know that voice.
Yeah, that woman there that's just said "fuck off." We know her. Like,
The one that's calling people a wanker. Yeah, I know that. I know that voice.
oh wait, I get to use my soundboard.
Go. There we go.
Yep, I try to be most of the time.
but yeah, no, that would be a lot of fun. But no, it makes sense that I think Fallout has a big like community who loves the mods. It makes sense that that's something that picked up a lot of traction that people would go to. I think if there was a game like that again, that people were so obsessed with the mods and that like big modding community, I think it would still do decently well on the site. I know, and I think it's just like as evolution of audiences happen, right? Then different things just hit and other things don't. I don't know.
So the other side of covering mods for the website, so I did cover, there was a guy that was, so basically what he was doing was trying to take I forget if it was Fallout 1 or Fallout 2. I want to say the first Fallout. He was basically trying to take that game and drop it in the Fallout 4 engine. So it would literally be the stories and the missions from the old turn-based games, but then in the Fallout 4 engine and played like that. And I covered this, and he got a demo done. And I want to say the original write-up did like 100 or 150 views, again for the time.
Yeah.
Okay, decent. And then later that year, he was just like, "Yeah, I'm not doing this anymore." And that, so with Fallout London and like the size of the team behind that, and then like they actually like are their own studio now. They're the last I looked into it, I know I'm in their Discord, but I haven't really screwed around in there a lot lately. They were looking into actually making their own original games and like selling them and stuff. But having a team that big for a mod is not very common.
No. God, no.
Usually you have maybe a handful of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there's other mods. Sky Oblivion, I've done a couple of write-ups for it, did really well, which should be out at some point this year. I think it's kind of unfortunate that the remaster dropped this year because it kind of like takes attention from that. Not that there's anything wrong with the remaster. I just think I'm going to end up liking Sky Oblivion better.
That's fair.
But
That's
we'll
fair.
see.
Yeah.
And I know that there's another Fallout mod that I've been thinking about doing some write up stuff on, but again, you do, and I know games get canceled all the time too, but like mods get canceled a lot more often. There's for every one mod that actually comes out, there's probably 10 or 15 that don't.
That don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And typically most of them you do hear about actually because someone's like, I'm gonna do this, and then apparently they didn't. Unlike a lot of games where unless you're Xbox, you generally don't talk about them until you've been working on them for a few years. Xbox will get a team together and an idea and be like, hey, we're doing this. 5 years later, oh yeah, that thing that we talked about, we're not doing it
No
anymore.
one's doing this. Yeah.
No.
Did they just forget that they were supposed to do it? Like, it's
Sorry, I was a loyal Xbox guy for a while, and I just kind of got sick of getting burnt.
Valid.
Plus, unfortunately for them, so I just looked it up actually on my phone. I put my $5 for my Steam Deck down in June of 2022, and then I got my email notification saying, "Hey, buy the fucking thing," on September 18th of that year.
Okay.
By the time I got fed up with Xbox, I already had one of these, so I knew the greatness that was PC gaming. And so rather than jump over to PlayStation, I was like, well, I've been screwing around the Steam Deck for a while, and I really like it. So, and I got my shiny RGB. You can't see it. I'm staring at it, but my PC.
Yeah. Are you really a PC gamer unless you have RGB lights? Like, I feel like you're not.
I actually kind of hate them. My old, I used to have an NVIDIA 2080 or 2080 Ti for I guess the story behind this. So my friend at work, Carlos, he bought a pre-build with a 4090 in it, and I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And he was like, what? It's
Made
like
of
the
money.
best. Kind of. He just buys it. I found out today when I was talking to him, because we aren't on the same shift anymore. He spent about a year ago. He spent $3,500 on a fucking dog.
A dog.
I made that face.
So how is it? Is it a magic dog? What the fuck?
So our conversation went very, very much less PG and went more X-rated about what the dog may or may not do for you, as far as what he spent on it. But I made out like a bandit because of his spending habits. So he bought a pre-built 4090. I want to say he spent like, I forget. I saw the invoice. You know what? I'm not gonna throw him under the bus.
He spent enough.
He is my friend. He spent enough. But the PS to that is the pre-built he had in his closet after he got that had a 2080 Ti in it and an Intel i9900K, which 6 or 7 years ago was like the best PC you could get.
Yeah.
Now it's but I ripped the GPU out and sold it and bought a 7800 XT AMD. Good graphics card. I need to the CPU is long in the tooth, that motherboard. And unfortunately for the socket, it's the best one you can get. So like any upgrade I do is going to involve a new motherboard too. So I might as well just go AMD.
But you made out.
Anyway. Yeah, I bought the pre-built the way it was for like $500. So.
Damn.
And at the time when he sold it to me, I looked it up, and the graphics card alone was going for like $4. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need friends who recycle tech like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got my new graphics card, I gave my old graphics card to my friend in the pub for free. I think it was a 2060. And I was just like, I bought myself a 4070 Ti here. You can have this. I don't care. Like,
so the to be fair, the 2080 Ti, if you're not playing an Unreal Engine 5 game, you can still get 60, 80 FPS at like medium settings, 1440p. If you're playing Unreal Engine 5, fuck off. But
yeah, I think about that's the engine issues with that are pretty well documented.
You need so I know that my friend Cassie, Cult Classic Cage, was just streaming Mafia Old Country, and she's got a 4080 and playing the game. So I'm not, Cassie will probably never see this. Cassie, you're an awesome friend. I love you, but she was streaming the game at 8K scaled down to 4K. and on top of streaming. So like
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have issues if you choose to do it that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I run all my shit at 1440p, so the
Yeah.
7800 XT is fine for me. I do kind of wish I waited until the 9070 XT came out, just because it's pretty fucking badass for the price for 600.
Yeah.
If you can find it at MSRP, but that's a
This
whole
is
other
always
tangent.
this is always the PC gaming dilemma, though. It's like if you wait
Yeah.
6 months, then something else might be out and it might be better. Like,
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, that's always the
Yeah.
key.
Well,
yeah.
but now there's rumors that they're going to port FSR4 back to the 7000 series. So if that happens, then I don't care. Then
No,
I'm fine with
absolutely.
my 70. The 7800, for those that don't know AMD, it depends on who. I've seen them classify it as the highest end of their mid-range stuff and the lowest end of their high-end stuff. So it just, I guess it depends on who you're talking to, but it's a decent card.
Yeah. And I would say unless you have
it trades blows with the 4070. So
Okay.
yeah, they're pretty comparable, I would say. Yeah. And I think unless you're doing like you don't really need like a 5090 or anything like that at the moment.
no.
Because and I would argue that generally speaking, 1440p is the best way to play PC
Yeah,
gaming.
that's
I
what
don't
I'm.
understand the idea of like having to scale things up to 4K because you're
Yeah.
for me, if you're really into your PC, you're prioritizing frame rate, not graphics, I would say.
Yeah,
Mm.
to that point, because a lot of people have asked me, like, hey, I'm building a PC, what should I get? If I was going to advise someone about buying a PC, pick your monitor first and then build off of that. So like I've got a 1440p 165 hertz monitor. It was like 250 300 on Newegg. I would get your monitor first and then build around that, because
Yeah.
if you're getting my monitor but you're thinking about getting a 5090, like that's just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Unless you're a video editor or something production wise, you don't need a 4090 or a 5090. But
So
No,
now I
absolutely.
know when I go to build a PC to just ping the two of you and be like, I don't know a goddamn thing. What do I do?
Yeah.
I know a
We
guy
can
that
help.
bought that has a 4070, and it kind of bothers me. Only because he's smarter than this, but he just plays at 1080p, and I'm like, dude, why did you spend $650 on a fucking graphics card if you're
Yeah.
just gonna play at 1080p?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I know he had a 1080 Ti for years, and then that shit to bed like a year and a half ago, and he finally got a better graphics card. I can't shit on him for buying the graphics card. I'm shitting on him for buying the graphics card, and he's had it for almost a year now, and he's still playing at 1080p monitor. Like, I don't.
I agree with it.
Yeah, I mean, congrats. You can run Fortnite at like 400 FPS.
But do you need to?
No,
it's not going to make you any better.
Most of the people playing are fucking children, and you're gonna camp and kill them anyway. So
it's got crossplay. The majority of people you're playing with are playing on Xbox or the Nintendo Switch. Like,
so true.
Or a tablet.
Oh my god.
Or their phone. But no, we can definitely help if you choose to build your own PC. My dad taught us how to build PCs when I was very small, so I would never buy a pre-build. I feel like it's like an offense to my family's tradition of learning how to. But also, there's nothing wrong with pre-builds. It's just a lot cheaper if you build your own. But yeah, the one thing I will say to anyone who's listening that fancies building their own PC is absolutely not as scary as people on the internet make it seem. You are not going to like blow out a capacitor or something on your motherboard while you're building it. Like people are like, you need to put down a mat. You have to be grounded at all times. I put my PC together. To be fair, the side panel is off it because I've not screwed it back on. But I put my PC together on the middle of my rug with a Leatherman, like in the middle of the day. I was just like, I'll be fine. Yeah.
I would say there was a time and a place where grounding yourself was important. Maybe not so much now. It's basically grown-up Legos with electricity. So like, if it's not booting, just make sure you unplug it before you start fucking with it, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is very much plug and play. Like everything's labeled until where you're supposed to like
Yeah,
plug stuff in. Like
that's what I had
Also-
heard, and like I started buying pieces, and I just like I at one point I was like I'm gonna build a PC, and I started buying things, and I don't remember. I think I might have asked you this before, but we have Micro Centers out here, and I love going to Micro Center and just looking at stuff. And I went
Oh,
to
I
Micro
fucking hate
Center.
you.
Because I have a Micro Center.
Because I live in Oregon and there are no fucking micro centers. I
So-
have to go to Southern California is the
Oh my
closest
God.
one.
Yeah. So I went to Micro Center one day, and one of my friends mentioned that they were like, oh, like they had some pretty good deals on PCs. So I go to Micro Center, and I was like looking at the PCs, and they had like a pre-built that the idea is that you could upgrade things in it, right? And it was $1,100, and this
But
was
you can do that with all pre
with all pre-builts. This one I do like the way it's built out, because I looked at some of the other pre-builts and I was like, this looks like the wires are gonna drive me nuts. This one was laid out very cleanly compared to what they had, so I was like, okay. So I looked at
I
it.
will say most pre-builds have much better cable management. I'm looking inside my PC right now and I'm embarrassed.
So some of them I was like, this looks messy. I don't know how I feel about it, but so I saw this one, and $1,100, and I bought it in 2022. And it came with like a 3070, and it had all the things that I needed, because I was like, well, I want to like, I'm gonna stream with it, and I'm gonna use a VTuber model, and I'm gonna do all these things, so I need something that can run all these things. And people were like, yeah, like this will run it, blah blah blah. So I picked it up, and the only thing that I have actually upgraded in is I added more RAM, and I felt like I was like queen of the world. I was like, I did an upgrade, and I was so proud of myself. But the next time that I upgrade something like actually big to brag about, like I think the next thing I'm gonna do is actually get a different tower for more space, because I've seen the size of some of those like graphics cards, and I'm like, okay, well, might need something bigger, might need something more. But that's like it felt a little bit easier having bought like the pre-built and being able to see inside of it and see like where everything's connected to, and being able to open it and looking, and I'm like, okay, now I have more confidence that it's not as scary. When I was buying parts and I was like, oh, I have to put these together, it still felt like slightly intimidating. I'm like, now that I can see it and visualize it more and I've gotten used to it, it's not so bad. It doesn't look so bad.
Yeah.
In a year from now, I might be cursing myself and listening to this back and being like, I was an idiot. But I do feel like when I eventually am ready to upgrade, it won't seem as awful. But I will still probably be asking the two of you, like, does this make sense for what I want to do?
Yeah,
There's a
the
lot
only
of really good online resources for checking if your setup's
Yeah.
compatible with new parts you want to buy and stuff
the
like
only the only point I would only advice I would give you, like, obviously do your research.
Mhm.
I don't have to so much worry about this thanks to Carlos's spending habits, because V will understand this. So the pre-built he bought came with a 1,000-watt EVGA power supply. I think it's an EVGA Gold.
Yeah.
So literally the 5090 is the only graphics card available where I would have to worry about my power supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the
That's
5090 they
wild.
recommended a 12 or 1500 watt or something, which
God.
is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's been the first graphics card. So just if you're upgrading your graphics card, I would say pay attention to your
Yeah.
I don't know what your
your
power
power
supply
supply.
is. With an $1,100 pre-build, if it's, I mean, I don't know what it would be.
I actually
Generally, it'll stay on the side of it.
I did upgrade the power supply, and I almost did it myself, except the case, the tower has this stupid shield over where the power supply is. I forget what the guy called it at Micro Center, and I could not get the power supply out on my own. So I took it to Micro Center, and I was like, look, I bought this power supply. I took everything apart. I left it there. They replaced it. And when I spoke to the guy afterwards, he was like, yeah, this was the one problem with this particular tower. The way that there's like this like L-shaped cover on the power supply. He's like, I literally was about to take out everything from the computer just to replace the power supply before it finally popped out. He was like, so yeah, if you're not used to being in like PCs that way, I could see where this would have felt. And I was like, okay, good, because I took everything apart. I'm unscrewing all the things I can unscrew, and like sending pictures to friends who have built computers, and they're like, yeah, that tower's fucked. And I was like, no, it's not. It's just that, like, they were like, yeah, you're gonna have to take more out. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is where now it's a little bit too much. But I did upgrade my power supply. I don't remember which one I got, but and part of it was because of all the things that I was running. It was a little too much. I probably shouldn't have been like this camera. And at one point, I had like 3 cameras hooked up to this thing. It was overload. I do not have 3 cameras hooked up to it right now. But my next computer will have the ability to have 3 cameras hooked up to it. Mark my words. I will not budge on that.
I don't know what. I don't know what you'd need 3 cameras for outside of a certain site that. Anyway.
So it's not X-rated. It is so when I'm streaming, I use a VTuber avatar, so one camera has to track my face. I have another camera that is in case my cat comes around, and we call that cat cam. So that's 2 cameras. One for my face, one for cat cam, and then the third one is actually a Leap Motion, which is technically a camera, so that my VTuber avatar could have hand tracking. So 3.
Oh, okay. I know diddly squat about this.
So literally, it's because I want my avatar to have hands, but I also don't want to sacrifice not being able to put my cat on camera.
Which is fair. The people deserve cat cam.
I will say I've watched like Iron Mouse and stuff enough to know that there's a lot more to VTubing than a lot of people think there is. So respect there.
It is as much or as little as you want. I mean, I really love Iron Mouse. The amount that she puts into like her models and all the stuff is, I could only dream of that. 1, because finances, and 2, because of tech know-how. But yeah, I mean, as little or as much as you want to do. Maybe one day I can convince Fee that we should do an animated episode.
Yeah, we're going to do a VTuber episode as we play through Dark Souls 2. That's my compromise. Like, you can make me a VTuber, but you have to play Dark Souls 2. Like,
okay, but what if they're 2 separate episodes? Only because I feel
then we can get more goals for people to like and subscribe.
I feel like my facial expressions will be more animated, not with the avatar.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, absolutely.
And
so
I don't
we'll
have
do a game of your choice.
Yeah.
When we do the episode.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can do that.
Russell, how many likes do you think we should set for the VTuber episode?
I don't. How many does this channel usually get?
I have no idea. We've just arbitrarily been throwing numbers out.
Yeah.
5,000.
5,000 likes for a VTuber episode.
I think for Dark Souls 2, we said 50 on any given Girl Pod episode.
Yeah, I think we'll probably be doing that first. Like.
Well, given the way math works, that would, that's the way that would track.
That does track. I know we're coming close, so like we try not to go like longer than an hour and a half. I was gonna talk music and games with you, but since we're getting close to time, give us a game rec.
I was gonna say, as far as what you want to talk about, that's all your guys'. You're the ones watching the timer. A game recommendation?
Yeah.
I mean, what are we talking? Something modern here, or
could be anything. Any game that you think people listening to this should play. Doesn't have to be any. If you want something that you've like reviewed for GSC, then obviously I can find the article and link it. If you want it to just be something that you're like, you should just play this because it's a god tier game and not enough people are playing it. Just a rec so more people can hear games that they should play. So I didn't come with the rec.
I'll toss. I don't. Did you tell me to?
I don't remember. And I didn't plan a rec either. So.
Yeah. So I'll toss 2 out there. If we're talking about modern, so far my game of the year is definitely Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I will say it takes a special kind of person to want to play that. I think it's more retro gaming friendly just because it's very old school in the way it presents itself. And then The Binding of Isaac last December added beta multiplayer should you own all of the DLC. and only on Steam right now. It's not on any other launcher, and it's not on console. It is coming to console at some point, so please stop with the comments on my articles about that. and I've gotten a couple DM. I swear to when I was talking about the it coming to the game, there's actually a section in the article where I say no, it's not coming to console, maybe someday. And literally there's one comment on the article asking if it's coming to Xbox. So like Jesus Christ, guys.
Learn to read.
like I get it, but like it's fucking right there. It's literally a section, it's got a header, and there's just one paragraph. Like, fuck.
And you know what? I did see in your Mugenics article that the creator has said that things always come to PC first.
Yeah. Basically, he puts the DLC and stuff on PC as a beta, and then we get to break it basically. Also, Edmund, if you ever watch this, I've reported this 3 times, and look, dude, I love the views on my YouTube channel. My video to turn on Steam input has almost 5,000 views. Love the views. Fix the fucking game so the controller works right. I've filed a report on that 3 times.
Make it work.
But anyway, I've been playing, particularly this week, I've been playing a lot of Binding of Isaac because
it's a good game.
Oh, I'll just fuck it. No, so I'd let you into a little bit of my personal life. The chick I've been on a few dates with got a hold of me a few days ago and was like, "Hey, what multiplayer games do you play?" And I was like, "Well, none really." And then I remembered that Isaac had the beta multiplayer. So me and her have been playing that for the last few days. But
anyway. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Multiplayer games are always fun. So that's cool.
So she gets our seal. I would say our seal of approval, if that means anything.
But yeah, so yeah, those 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Binding of Isaac, I guess that's what I would recommend.
Okay.
Yeah, I've played neither. I know that Binding of Isaac is like the it's like precursor to the modern renaissance that is one of my favorite genres, which is roguelike. So I really should get on that.
I will say, knowing what I do know about you, particularly with Balatro, like the same feeling that you get with Balatro, where like you'll get really into it and you're like, "Fuck, I almost made it. I almost beat it one more time." You will get that feeling with the Binding of Isaac too.
Great, fantastic. My backlog can wait.
Yeah, I Binding of Isaac, and Dead Cells both have been actually, and 20XX. All 3 of those have been a big issue with that. I beat 20XX. I haven't, because technically Binding of Isaac I think takes like 15 completed runs to actually beat, and Dead Cells takes 5, I think, with all the DLC.
Okay. Yeah, I've not done 5 BC on Dead Cells. I think I've done up to 3 BC.
I've made it through 3 and I'm still stuck on 4.
Yeah, I think that's where I am. But I love Dead Cells. You're absolutely right, and it's one of the games that like I put on the shelf for a little bit of time at a time, because when I want Dead Cells, nothing else will do, and then I will play for like 4 days in a row, and then I'm like, put the Dead Cells away, like.
And apparently with Dead Cells, there's like, ideally, according to the subreddit, you're supposed to do everything in the order the DLC came out on. I bought everything and then just immediately beat the Castlevania DLC.
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm just like, I want to go here. Like, what do you mean? Well, new area to go to. Like,
yeah, it's recommended, I think, that you beat the Hand of the King first, and that's just not. I went straight for Dracula, so.
Yeah, I beat the Hand of the King first, but that's because I had owned Dead Cells long before the Castlevania DLC came out. So.
That makes sense.
I know. It's a very good game.
I have played none of them, although I think I do own Binding of Isaac, because, again, I have a friend who loves it, and he's like, I know you're going to love this game. I'm like, I know, but I can't get hooked to any games right now. I know I love my roguelikes. I know.
I will say there's 2 versions of the Binding of Isaac. If you're on PC, don't buy the old Flash version. Particularly if you're running Windows 11, it's basically broken and won't work on Windows 11.
Okay.
If you have an older PC with an over operating system, it should work fine. The last time I tried it on my laptop, it worked, which is on Windows 10. But Windows 11, yeah, it's the game's basically broken.
Good to know.
Okay,
You heard it here. You've all been warned.
Thanks.
You're all warned. Don't get it don't get it unless you have the older operating system. But you should get it.
Yeah,
everything I've seen is great.
But I'd also the PS to that is the newer version is the one that you can get all the DLC shit for. So why wouldn't you get that version anyway?
That's I know, like Repentance, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know when the old one goes on sale, it's like $1, so it's tempting, but I wouldn't.
Yeah. And a real lesson to learn from this is don't upgrade your PC to Windows 11 because it's shit.
Yeah. Funny story.
Because I have it and it never fucking works.
Yeah. I think that technically the old version of Isaac isn't actually supported on the Steam Deck, and wouldn't you know, fucking works.
Yeah.
I just mean it hasn't
Steam
been
Deck
verified.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was only a few games I've found that legitimately you can't even find on the Steam Deck store because they're like, this doesn't work. Like,
okay, that makes sense.
That Jigsaw game that I was playing, Strange Jigsaws, you can't buy that on Steam Deck. No. But you should still buy it because it's very good and it's only like £3 or something.
Oh. Well, now you got 3 game recs. 3.
Yeah.
Yes. 3. I don't have one, so I'm not even gonna try to throw one in. I don't. I was trying to think. I'm like, do I have one?
You don't have a cozy game that apparently, according to the last one that you guys did, you completely love and don't despise and don't rage you.
No.
Again, I did a little bit of. I listened to a couple episodes before I came on. I wanted to know what I agreed to and see if I should have been like, yeah, no, this is a bad idea.
There's an early access review that's sitting on the site for a cozy game that I did play, and I wrote nice things about it, but I did very much say this is not fully my vibe, but I see why people like it. But
so you didn't Sophie the Echo it?
No, I did not.
And I will read that and put that up.
It's fine. It's fine. It was one of those things that it was like, hey, this code came out. Oh, they delayed the release. We don't know when the release coming out. Oh, they released it, and it's like, oh, okay, so they're okay. But yeah, so now if you're listening, listeners, viewers, whatever, you've heard the behind the scenes of how we do this podcast, the behind the scenes of GSC. You've got 3 game recs, not from me. but take those recs. You've learned a little bit about PC building. Shout out to Carlos for hooking Russell up with a PC. And you heard reasons to get a Steam Deck. And Russell has a YouTube channel that I will link in the description down below so that you can always check out Russell. Obviously, you can also check out Russell's articles on gamersocialclub.ca. Catch V on the weekly news podcast most weeks. I know that, obviously there are some weeks like when V gets to be really lucky and go to Gamescom in Germany that she won't be on there. But make sure you check out the news podcast. Make sure you check out the party chat. Check out the articles. If you need more gamers to chat with, join the Discord. There is a link in the description to the Discord where we play games, we talk about games. I age myself by looking at MK8 and thinking that people are talking about Mortal Kombat and not Mario Kart 8. So you can get a sense of how old I am.
I don't even think you're as old as I am. So,
it's fine. It's fine. But if you can, subscribe, share this with your gamer friends, leave a comment, tell us what we did that was great, tell us what we did that was awful. Tell us if you think Binding of Isaac sucks. If you're Edmund McMillen, tell us when you want to come on the podcast. We'll bring Russell back and have a nice little interview. Leave a 5-star review and all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next time. Everybody say bye.
Bye guys.